Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful evening with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, Astro-Numerologist Lloyd Strayhorn, on this Wednesday, the 16th of the month of 2025. So let me do this to bring myself up. Okay. Okay, here we go. You know, as long as I've been doing this, you think I get it straight. But anyway, hi, everybody. Listen, first of all, I want to thank everybody who gave me thumbs up for Monday because it represented 3 years that Live with Lloyd has been on, which has been incredible. It doesn't seem that long. I have enjoyed it. You think after 3 years I'd still get it right, but hey, I'm being as authentic as I can be. But before we do, let me let you know about our sponsors. One is Queen Bee is really Melinda Valentine. And so she's going to be doing a feature this coming Sunday where you get to know her, not just Queen Bee, but as a wonderful Leo person, a number 2 person born on the 20th, a wonderful mother. And so you'll be getting to see another side of her, but thank her for sponsoring the show. She is still making this offer for the summer sale where you get your charts for just $50, not a $50 discount, but $50. So I thank her very much for the sponsorship. Also, I'm thanking Vanessa and Corey of London. They are sponsoring the show. They're going to be on August the 4th, that Monday, just before I go to visit them across the waters. And I want to thank them. Also, I want to thank Nicholas Brooklyn of 1396 Fulton Street. They have, it's just an amazing place. That's all I can tell you. Don't take my word for it. Go there yourself and check it out. Of course, my brother, King Simon, he is now in part 2 of The Anatomy of Numerovation. So for those of you who would like to participate or participate for the August version, just go to www.patreon.com/King Simon Productions. Also, Uchenna, he told me, I spoke to him yesterday, and he says the book will be ready soon. He's a very detailed guy, which I can understand. In any business, you got to be in the details if you want to be successful. So he is going to be doing that. He will let me know. Also, Miss Kimberly, Manifest on Purpose. She is a business astro-numerologist, and she's providing this service for all of you. You know, there's been mass layoffs across the board. I understand the educational system has been widely affected just recently over the last couple of days. So for those of you who have a business, want to start a business and look at it from an astro-numerical point of view, she is offering a complimentary consultation. Just go to Kimberly, Kimbaley at the bottom.com. And of course, saving the best for last, the Numerology Mastery Institute that we're going to be talking about. Oh, yes. So without further ado, I do want to bring on my very special guest. Ta-da!
Hey, Lloyd, it's so nice to be with you.
Right? How you been?
I've been well. Thank you for having me on with you. Normally it's one or the other, but today
Yeah. But it's always on because, I mean, there's so much to talk about. That I think I'm going to start in the reverse, which is your Numerology Institute. What has motivated you to do not just say institute, but a mastery institute, because you are a master teacher?
Thank you.
Anytime.
That's an honor coming from you. I'm in a 33-6 personal year, so that's one of the things too. 33 is the number of the master teacher, so I figured I would just stay true to that energy and bring this course to light. But a lot of people often ask me about certification courses, and I'm a stickler for certification because I'm a certified professional teacher, and you have to pass a series of exams, and it's certified by an institution. And so for me to say I can certify you, if I'm not backed by an institution, I kind of feel a certain way, like I don't know about certification. So I figured I would change it to mastery because in numerology, there are a lot of skills. Oftentimes when we speak to people, they will say, oh, my life path number is an 11. But there's so much more.
How true. They make it very, very simple, but if they knew how complicated
It is
Yeah.
complicated. And we don't want to scare you. The addition and the calculations of it, that's not complicated. But in terms of the number of skills and synthesizing all of the information, that gets to be very detailed because there's so many different numbers working in tandem. And so I said, let me come up with an institute that focuses on everything numerology, all of the numerology skills, and then create a competency tracker so that we can track the students' information and the way that they apply the information in real time. So for every skill, they have to demonstrate that they not only understand it, but they can demonstrate it and then they can synthesize information, they can tell a story. So I have put together an advanced spreadsheet. You know, I'm the spreadsheet queen. You took my spreadsheet class.
No, you're good. You're good.
Thank you. So I have my spreadsheet ready, a list of 33 competencies that have subtopics with,
Makes sense that you're in the master
right?
33 year. Makes
Exactly.
sense.
Look at that. It's all coming together. And so I can track it and I'll give the students their own copy of it so that while we're going through the semester, because it really is like a semester long class, they can track their own development in each of the competency areas as well. And so once they demonstrate at the end, they get a professional certificate. And I will say that you have demonstrated mastery and they can go in the world and use it to coach in their professional environment. If they want to start a business, they can apply it to every aspect of life because numerology should be used on a day-to-day basis.
Well, the thing I like is one of the main things you said is the practical application. So
Mhm.
how do you use it? So what does it mean and whatnot? And you know, I laugh when you said everybody knows about the life path number. That seems about the only thing they know. Well, my life path or birth path or destiny number is this, and they think that's it. That's
That's
the
it.
all in all. But
Yeah.
there's so many components, so many variables. I mean, I try to keep it simple, but if people really knew how deep numerology goes, that every letter in your name represents a certain period. A E
Mm.
represents a 5 year spread. You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing that people just don't kind
They
of
don't
get
see,
it.
they don't see it. They don't see the beauty of it. That's why when I do the breakdowns, when I cover for you, and I do the breakdowns for the shows, I like to bring in other skills like the pinnacle cycles and looking at the name and breaking down the numbers in the name and how they will attract different people, or looking at how the name will show you how if you move to a new city, if you're using your birthday number and the name of that city, how those two are compatible or not. And so looking at all of these things really makes a big deal. And so you use it not just to inform what's happening for the year, but you use it to make life decisions. And so I don't do anything unless I look at the numbers to make sure that the numbers are compatible with what my plans are.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense being a Taurus. That I can relate to that. I do have a question.
Yes.
Of the shows, well, it's not a question, it's just comments. Now, you've said in me for several occasions, more than several occasions, the two that stood out for me was Shannon Sharp, bless his soul. Haven't heard from him or what's been going on since you went on. And this famous 55 Club, I said, what was that about? Then when I checked the show, that all these guys from P. Diddy to uh,
Tyler Perry,
Tyler Perry to
Fat
uh,
Joe.
Fat Joe, they're all 55.
Yep. And Shannon Sharp was 55 and that thing happened too. So there's something about that 55-year-old. But see, 55 has that double five energy, and five is the sex number. And so when you think about five, it's a sensual number. So it wants to indulge in all of the vices. It wants to indulge in the senses. So it has to feel, it has to hear, it has to touch, it has to be stimulated. And so that sex number comes up at that double five energy. Although it is a genius number and you're using your intellect, you are very much sexually stimulated. And I have 10 fives in my name. And so I understand what that high five energy can be if it's not utilized in a productive way.
Now, five is not known to have much patience. Would that count
Mm,
for you too?
absolutely.
Okay.
That's the
Five
truth.
normally don't like to repeat themselves. That
That's
I apply to you too.
Only when I'm teaching, I don't mind repeating myself over and over. It's only time I have a problem when I'm teaching and I have to repeat myself is when it's so obvious and I've broken it down in every situation. And I'm like, "For real? Seriously?"
But sometimes everybody has a different learning type. I tend to be a person who I gotta see it. There's some people you can talk to them and they can kind of see it in their minds. I'm a visual learner.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's the style.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that has to be taken into consideration. I don't know, but I just think it's interesting.
I like what you said. Yeah, when I teach, I do have the visuals with everything. That's why I always have the PowerPoint accompanying it, and I make sure to like zero in on things so people could focus specifically on what I'm talking about. But you're right. Some people learn through auditory. Some people have to learn by seeing. Some people need to learn where they say kinesthetically, where they have to touch things. And so, yeah, there are different learning modalities, but I try to appeal to all of it. So this way people are well-rounded with everything that they
Because I know when I took, I think at least two of your courses, the one thing I liked was there was a visual behind it. So I
hmm
could say, oh yeah. Because there are times I can hear what you're saying and it don't mean nothing until you show me.
Exactly. And I try to have it printed out on paper. So not only do I have the PowerPoint and I'm showing to you and demonstrating it, but I also write it out on paper because some people like to read and follow step-by-step directions. And so I try to provide all of that so that everybody has what they need to be successful.
Yeah, I'm the kind of type I'll open up a box and plug it in and try to figure it out and don't read no instructions, which is more important that you kind of read the instructions, like plug it in and turn it on, okay? So
That's the male ego, where the male is like, I got this. I don't need to read no directions.
one of my favorite words, I got this, okay?
Exactly, I got this. And find out that you don't.
I should have read it before it says don't touch this, okay?
Exactly.
So I guess it makes it fun, but we all gotta, I also understand that in school that girls tend to have been fast learners more than boys. I don't
Mm.
know if that's because we're trying to get into mischief or just our testosterone energy, but I think women are kind of like, as girls especially, are more fast learners and whatnot, and
You
that
think
may
so?
explain why more women, especially women of black women, since they've done this research supposedly,
hmm
have more of these degrees
I don't
because
know
of
that
the learning
we learn
factor.
faster. Sorry, if I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, no, go right ahead.
I don't know that we learn faster. Women have a higher tolerance to sit down and be still and pay attention to talking because women, we are talkers. We like to communicate. Whereas boy children, they like to move. I noticed my best friend who's now passed, who's now transitioned, when I started working with him, he would have to get up all the time and he wouldn't sit on a chair. He would sit on a big black ball because he wanted to exercise his spine and have his spine straight. And he would be rolling that ball all over the place. And then after an hour, he would get up and have to talk and have to move around. And I was like, this man got ADHD. But that's just how men are. They can't sit down for long periods of time. So it goes back to what we were talking about with the learning modalities, where women could sit and focus on something all day long. A man has to be moving. He has to interact. He has to have conversation. He can't learn sitting down. So I don't know that you guys learn slower. It's just a different way of learning.
I'll be doing two or three things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I got to do this, and I'm over here doing that, and then I'll stop and pause and get back to what I'm doing. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's
I had
it's
to
just
observe
interesting.
men in the work environment, like, wow, this is really a thing. And even when I was leading my team in the Department of Education, I would have a coworker, John, and John would be in work all day, and he would be reading the newspaper, and he would be talking stuff, and at 5 o'clock, when everybody leaves, is when he would start working. And so he would work between the hours of 5 to 7. He would come in at 10 o'clock in the morning and wouldn't start working until 5. But those were the optimal hours for him to learn and to work. And so I'm like, okay, as long as you get the work done, I don't care when you do it. But that's what's just interesting to see how men are different than women in that
I
aspect.
know me. The later it gets, the better I do.
Exactly. Me too.
So when I wrote my first book, it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning
Ah,
because
when
I
it's
had to wait for half of New York to go to sleep. Okay.
exactly no distractions.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just think that's interesting. So let me ask you this too. One of the things about it is that, can you talk about your first book?
Oh, sure. In fact, my knocking from the inside. Yes, so people got to buy this book. I love this book so much
I do
because
too.
thank you, Lloyd. I love this book so much because it was a labor of love and it didn't even feel like a labor. But this book is a memoir that focuses on 9 years of my life and is tied to my second pinnacle cycle. So I was in a 7 lesson and a 3 challenge. And within this book, I talk about the 9 personal years and all of the drama that happens within those 9 years. It focuses on a relationship that I was in with, I want to say, a man who exhibited narcissism and narcissistic behaviors, really bad narcissistic behaviors. And me trying to figure out why I attracted it, why I attracted him, why I kept going back, and all of the drama that ensues in between. And so I use numerology to break down the personal years to show that the vibration of the year definitely dictates what happens within that year. And we have all the different characters coming in and out.
No, it's
So
real juicy stuff. Trust me.
a lot of suspense. It feels like a Netflix series. Like they can really make this book into a Netflix series that people would tune into because not only would they be interested in the story, they'd be interested in the breakdown. And within the book, I do have what I call a spiritual forensic report where something big happens in the book and I break it down with the numbers to show how the numbers in my name and the numbers in his name and his birthday show that everything would have happened the way that it did. So oftentimes we regret, like, I wish I can go back and change that, but there's nothing to change. Like, that was the lesson, that was the agreement, and things have to happen in order to shake us up. Otherwise, we'd be too complacent.
Yeah, that's how we grow. We grow through life's experiences.
Yeah.
Now, you said something very key that when you wrote this book, you were in a period of a pinnacle and a challenge. So, for those who may be new to the Live with Lloyd show, you know,
Yes.
I forgot to even read the forecast, but I'll do that later
Yes,
on.
we can go back and read it
Yeah.
together.
But we, but when you say, can you explain when you say you were in this pinnacle and this challenge? What does that
Yes.
mean to those
So
who may be new to this?
yes. So we were speaking about the life path number earlier. And the life path number is what we are here to learn over the full course of our life. So that's why it gets me when people are like, oh, I'm a life path 11. That's just showing that you are here to learn what it means to be in a higher vibration of an 11, where you are illuminating and bringing people's awareness to a higher calling. But within that life path, there are lessons and challenges that you have to go through that will help you to obtain that life path number. So we have 4 cycles, 4 pinnacle lessons and cycles, and the years vary. The first pinnacle cycle can be between 27 years and 35 years. The second and third cycles are both 9 years in length, and the
Mhm.
fourth cycle is the rest of your life, the duration of your life. And so these pinnacle lessons and challenges are based on calculating the life path number in different configurations that I'll break down in this Mastery Institute. But when I wrote the book, I was in a 7 lesson, which talks about me getting to my spiritual aspect. So, what does it mean to be a spiritual being? Do I have a spiritual practice? At that time, I didn't want to be around loud noises. I was doing a lot of yoga, I was meditating a lot. I was focusing on my singing. That's when I really, Spirit was really talking to me like, you need to go back and sing. You need to find a vocal coach. You need to focus on a craft. Because during a 7th cycle, as you're going through this spiritual awakening, you have to channel that into something creative. And so it will always beckon you to take up a craft. And so if you're in a 7th cycle, you would find that you have loner energy. You don't really want to be around people too much unless they are engaging in conversations that are meaningful and that have some kind of spiritual anchoring. Then with my 3 challenge, while I'm learning to sing and getting my vocal training lessons and all of this, my 3 challenge is saying that I need to express myself, but because it's a challenge, I'm afraid to express my authentic self. So having to perform and having intense anxiety, right? Having stage fright, understanding what that means to get up in front of people and sing and work through all of the nerves and still put on a good show. And so that 3 is saying you have to express yourself, but there are some roadblocks. You may be afraid to express yourself. So that's what I was going through in a nutshell, in those 9 years.
And before I finish with this book, how did you come upon this most interesting title? Not knocking on the outside, but knocking from the inside. Is it like you were trying to escape? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. So thank you, Queen Bee. So Knocking from the Inside is a poem. It comes from Rumi, the poet Rumi, Rumi. But it's in the book. Something happens where I receive a poem, and the poem says, I am knocking from the inside. And at the time when I received the poem, I thought the person who sent me the poem was the author of it. But then I realized that it came from a real poet. But knocking from the inside is symbolic because oftentimes we are in ourselves, but we're a shell of ourselves. We are living, but we're just going through the motions. We're not really experiencing and understanding what it is to be in alignment with our soul purpose. Similar to what Uchenna was saying when he was on, in terms of not being in alignment with your destiny and some of the troubles that come with that. And so knocking from the inside is important because you're in yourself trying to escape, trying to get out, trying to be your authentic self, trying to be in alignment with who you are. So many of us are walking around catatonic, like we're not feeling, we're not speaking, we're not really tapping into anything real. And so I really love that title, that I'm knocking from the inside. And you can see there's a girl in that, the iris.
Yeah, I know. You got to really get
Out.
into it. Where you
Yeah.
designing it, you know? I
Because the
just
eyes
like,
are the windows of the soul. So, like, I need to get out. I need to express my soul, my divine purpose.
I have an interesting question that came up that I like to run past you. It says, using numerology, can certain days of conception determine whether a child will be a girl or boy? What say
Yes.
you?
Yes, it can. It sure can. You taught me that, actually.
Yeah, I have a way of, yeah. And I don't know where I got it from. So I'm working on another book now. I want to put this, like, there's so many things I've come up with. Like, how did I get it? I got so tons of books, as you know. Did I get it from this book or that book? But I think part of it is like being very diligent and doing this for so many years that it's certain things just come to me,
Yes, absolutely. I'm
Okay.
glad you said that because you're divinely led. Like, we do get a lot of things from books, but oftentimes spirit speaks to you and gives you the information that's specifically for Lloyd. And so Lloyd has that information that Lloyd would share. And so when we use these sciences, you'll see that spirit opens up and starts to share other information with you. I know in a previous episode, we were speaking about the information that the Vatican has in terms of all of the metaphysical sciences. I'm pretty sure it's locked up in the Vatican underneath in the basement somewhere,
Oh,
right?
yeah, definitely.
So they're not going to give us that information. Like, even though the powers that were, things are changing, the tides are changing, and they know that the jig is up and they have to hand things over, it's going to be a fight. So instead of us relying on them to give us this information, we just have to rely on spirit and know that spirit will impart the information that we need to carry forward and share with our communities.
Now, I see here a cardology question. It comes from Cosmic Sunflower. Hello, Jazz and Lloyd. Aries 2 of spades here, 6 of spades PR. Please speak to how to practically work with the King of Spades. I have Neptune for life.
Okay. So,
That means nothing to me.
mm-hmm.
I mean, and not in a disrespectful way.
I know, but you just don't even
Yeah,
understand
like,
what I'm saying.
okay, yes.
Yes.
How would you answer this person?
So she's a 2 of spades as her birth card, her 6 of spades as her planetary ruler. And so she's saying, how does she use the King of Spades practically? So that's a great question. So I love having the King of Spades as a card because the King of Spades is the highest card in the deck. It is the most powerful king that there is. It is the master of all masters. So essentially, the King of Spades can tap into any other energy in the spread. It could be any other card that it wants to be. So when I have the King of Spades in my yearly spread or for the day, I know that I can solve any problem because the King of Spades just has the solution. The King of Spades has mastered himself because it had to get through the Queen of Spades, which is the card of self-mastery. So anything that was giving me a problem I couldn't figure out, when I had that King of Spades day, I said, oh, I can just tap into this energy and do this. Or I can just use the Six of Diamonds energy and pay my debts this way. Or I can use my Ace of Diamonds energy and manifest this way. So the King of Spades is an energy that you use to overcome obstacles. You can be any card that you want when you have the King of Spades. Just know that you are the master of everything. There are no roadblocks when you have the King of Spades.
Would you be saying that that would be the master of the moment whenever it occurs in the cycle or whatever the case is?
The King of Spades doesn't move, so it is the master. It stands on the hill looking down on its dominion, and it can be whomever it chooses to be. So the King of Spades is a powerful card to have. The only thing about the King of Spades is that because it could be any card in the deck, it can essentially be 52 personalities. And so you want to protect your mind when you have the King of Spades, because you have access to all of those energies. And so some people can go off mentally because they don't know how to balance themselves. So make sure that you are properly grounded out in nature, barefoot, hugging trees, do whatever to make yourself grounded. And between the wisdom of the earth and the trees and you using the energy of the King of Spades, you'll definitely come up with any solution to any problem that you have.
Now, this is interesting because my best friend, he is just as private as me, is born on November the 7th, but I didn't know he was a king of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And what it relates to me is in my experience of being very new at this still, most of the people that are meaningful for me either come out of diamonds, which I happen to be, or clubs.
Right.
Is there a synergy between the two, or that's just how it works?
I'm pretty sure there's a synergy because they're closely related. So the clubs are teenagers, the diamonds are the adults. And so teenagers and adults can pretty much have conversation. The hearts are the babies, and the spades are the elders. They're the senior citizens. And
You
so,
know, I'm laughing because teenagers think they're adults. Okay,
yeah, so,
I
you're
thought I
always
knew.
contending.
You know, mom don't know this, dad don't know this. You know what
Exactly.
I'm
Always
saying?
have to
What y'all
contend with
doing?
that energy. So, and their communication. So they speak a lot, right? They're always communicating. So there are less hearts in spades. And so the world is comprised of more diamonds and clubs, which is why you will always see more of them than you will see the hearts and the spades.
Now, by the way, for those of you who would like to get in touch with Jaz Afrodite, at the bottom left, thanks to Empress Well, is her go-to website. And okay, so please, and in fact, okay, she needs 25 more people to hit the bell. So today is the 16th of 7, 25 is the 7. The bell. Well, where do you know what? I'm kind of embarrassed. I don't know. Can I push like for myself? And if so, where do I push it?
You won't be able to see it because you can only push it if you're on YouTube. So it
Oh
doesn't
man.
allow
Okay.
you to do it through StreamYard. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So somebody wishes you love and happiness, Teresa Miller.
Hey,
Uh,
Teresa.
all of us, thank you so much. Uh, yes, and Monty says everybody of us learn at a different rate. But I will say this: I have had the pleasure of taking 2 or maybe 3 courses from
Mhm.
Jaz Aphrodite. Very patient for all them fives. Very patient.
Yeah.
That's because, like you said, you're teaching, and you
Hmm.
understand that, and very
Yeah.
detailed.
Thank you. That first class that we did with the numerology, that was fire with the two of us. That was great.
Yeah. That was good. Okay, so let's see. Now, I guess this relates to this person that says your life path number can determine that as well. Their life path, and they're good at multitasking. Well,
Mm,
3 is the part of creativity. I imagine that's what they're
yeah. Yeah.
talking about.
And understand too, multitasking is not a good thing, right? Like we tend to believe that doing multiple things at once is being productive. It's not. It's giving your focus to one thing that is really about the mastery of it. So multitasking is fine, but if you really want to become a master at something, you have to give one thing your attention at a time. Multitasking, we've been taught incorrectly. It's not a way to be efficient. Efficiency comes from focus. Focus means you're giving something your undivided attention. So let's try to stop with the multitasking and do one thing at a time. We don't have to rush. Time is a false constraint anyway. It's a false
Now,
construct.
Now, Key Love says, I need to order this book ASAP. Is Knocking from the Inside available on Amazon?
So I want you to order it from me. Everybody order the book from me, please, so I can sign it. If you're a person who doesn't like to necessarily read the physical books, I also have the audio version up on Audible. So you can listen to me read it and narrate it and do all the voices and all the accents and everything if you like to hear it as opposed to reading it. But if you're going to buy the physical book, buy it from me. I have it in hardcover and softcover. Please. Thank you.
Now, when did you put the book in audio?
Oh, I did it last summer. I was in this living room hot like hell, sweating. Sweating at midnight. Like you, I was doing it at the night because it's so noisy in New York. You really have a moment where it's quiet. And so every night I'll be here reading 2 and 3 chapters, and it was torture, but I got through it. I mastered it, I mixed it, I put it up, I did everything myself.
I had to get out the city to do my audiobook.
I know you went to
wouldn't
Philly.
stop. It was
Yeah.
nonstop. And then to have it in your voice, I think is great too. And Teresa says she has a book. It is so captivating. Believe me, family, you will enjoy it. The cover is absolutely. Let me tell you this. See, I love books.
Yes.
And so I bought, I think about 2 of the books. I bought the hardcover, and then I bought the soft cover. In fact, every book you published so far, I bought. That's my way of supporting all of my guests and things. The way you design it, see, let me say this, it's more than just a book. For those who are like tactile like me, I like to touch and stuff like that and rub my hand across the surface of the book. And I don't know how you do it, but it is well worth it. And I'm saying, for what books you have left, y'all need to order this book ASAP.
Yes. I like to have it, like you said, tactile. I want the book to be healing, not just to read, but to touch it, so that when you're touching it, you're getting the healing vibrations of it as well, because your fingers are being massaged as you read it.
Yes. Now, this person says they're November 7th. They paused July 13th. Please do a reading. Well, what I'll do is I will do that next week, because we're not kind of reading per se.
Yeah, not today.
Because, we're trying to get everything straight so you can get more into this young lady and what makes her who she is. And this person says, amen, amen, we grow and learn. Yes, Miss Squeaky, 71. You know?
Thank you. And shout out to Stephen Williams. Thank you, Stephen, for always supporting and sending
That's my man, Stephen.
I know, he's
out of Chicago, Stephen and Carolyn. So if I ever go there, that's good. And so, and it's nice because these are people that come on every week without fail. It's just nice.
They are family for sure.
Yeah. Now, since we talked about that book, then you went on to take it to the next level. Now tell us about this one.
Cards Unfolded. Yes, so Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded. So I was teaching my classes, and I was teaching Numerology, and Diamond was teaching the Cardology, but I had created the materials for both. And people were like, Jack, you got to put this in a book, because we're printing this out in color, and it's costing us an arm and a leg to make these color copies. If you can just put this in the book, you would just buy the book and save money. So that's what I did. That's the first installment of my Numerology and Cardology series. And so I combine the basics of numerology in the first one. And the first one is not so basic, but I go through all of the definitions of the numbers. I start to talk about the pinnacle lessons and challenges, life path, all of the personal years, the destiny, the Chaldean, the whole thing. In fact, I can bring it up and show you guys.
And in fact, you designed the cover too, right?
I designed all my covers.
The images.
Everything. I designed everything. Everything has to pass through me before it gets published. I'm very hands-on. I don't let anybody do anything for me, because they won't bring it to fruition the way that I want it done.
As they say, ashe on that one. Okay, definitely so.
I do it right.
Let's see.
But with the Numbers Decoded, Cards Unfolded, not only do I have the numerology, but I also have the grand solar spreads in the back. And so you will see all of the definitions of the numbers. You will see what it means to apply it. I give you exercises. I even give you tips and tricks to show you the best ways to do things. And you have the grand solar spreads as well, and the definitions of the cards and what they mean. So you have all of that in one.
Now, is this book still available?
So I don't have it on sale now because it's like pulling teeth to get people to buy it when I put it up. And so I only put it up when I have a high demand for it to be
Well,
purchased.
you'll get your demands up so she can publish it again. I
Mhm.
have mine, so I
It's,
mean, I could be selfish. I already
it's
got
soft and hardcover. Thank
mine.
you.
Yes, I do. Yes, 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 yes. I don't play. I don't play. I love books.
Me
Okay,
too.
you know. And then this one.
Yes, numbers spelt, cards dealt. So I knew when I did the first one that there was a part two because I couldn't fit everything into the first book. The first book is 222 pages. This one is 216. And so this is a continuation of the first book where I show you how to synthesize, how to tell the story. That's what Lloyd and I were speaking about when we first started. So you have all these numbers. How do you put them together and tell the full story of the numbers? And so this book does that. It also does the same thing with cardology. You have your spreads, you have your life spread, you have your yearly spreads. How are you decoding what the cards mean? How are you talking about the supporting karma card, the challenging karma card? So I explain all of that. I break that down in the book, and as well, I include the grand solar spreads as well in that one.
And I like it because you also include the Rosicrucian cycle of the different phases from birthday to birthday. In fact, I got your book right here. I can look at it. So if I got to figure out something, what date is, listen, a
Mm-hmm.
heck of a reference book. That's all I can tell you. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
And that will be the text for the Numerology Mastery Institute because all the information is in both of these books. And so I will have to open up.
So it's going to be a requirement that they have that book as,
So I'm going
one
to
of their
open up the
promise.
ordering. Yes.
You know what led me to do the course that I do with online, the Learn from Lloyd series? I was going to take an online course, I swear to you,
Uh-huh.
in numerology, right? And they recommended two books. You know, the first of those two books was my book.
That's right.
And that's why I said, oh, I got to do this myself. I was just like, wow, they used my book as a primer. And
That's
in
right.
fact, this is the course that I have, the Learn from Lloyd series. But one of them is at the very top. This is the one where I collaborated with the sister right next to me, Jaz Afrodite.
Mm-hmm.
Do's and don'ts of numerology. We put this together in what, about 2 days or something like that? 2, 3 days.
Yeah, 2 days. Mm-hmm.
That was it. And but here's what. So if and here's the thing: all the Learn from Lloyd series was done through Jackie. I went to her house. She set me down, and she's very focused. If you're going to learn from her, I can tell you right now. And the books, these courses are still selling to this day, thanks to you. And the first one is How to Read a Person Like a Book, has always been a bestseller since it came out.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, so if I feel very endeared to this woman, yes, you would too. But this is what I'm saying. So your need, this is why, hold up. Let me do this. Let me get y'all straight here. That's exactly why you'll need to enroll at the Numerology Mastery Institute so you can do the things she does. Okay. And it says apply today to learn all there is to know about numbers and demonstrate confidence. And listen, it's 4 months, but it's going to be a powerful 4 months of mastery building, and it starts on August the 10th. Now, why'd you pick that date? Was there a reason for it, numerically speaking, or just the way that you felt?
Just the way that it
Energetically?
felt. Yeah, it's just the way that it felt. It felt good with the 10 and then that one energy starting something brand new on a one day and just kicking it forward. And the 10th is really the orientation. This is really set up like a college course. And so the 10th is an orientation where I break down the class and the competencies and how things are going to be divvied up and taught throughout the semester. And then the real class starts on the 12th, which is the Tuesday.
And by the way, this is the cover of her website.
Yes.
Okay. And I think we have another one that I'm going to pull up, which is,
You can actually share the website itself so I can navigate.
yeah, hold on. Let me get through this.
Perfect. So when you come to my site, you'll see this pop up. And so this link, when it says complete the application today, it'll take you to another window where you would have to complete the application to go in. The application is really easy. but I want to get an idea as to why people are joining and if they are able to commit to the timing. Of course, you won't be able to meet every week. Some things, life happens. That's fine. I record everything. But I also want everybody to be clear about what it is that they're signing up for. So that's that. But my website has so much. It has the jewelry line where I do the numerology with the numbers. You see, I'm wearing my 2 around my neck. I also have my charm bracelet that has my best numbers and my cardology card, my ace of diamonds
Can
on it.
people get those?
Yes, they can, but I haven't put it up for sale yet because I'm still tweaking it. And so I just want to make sure that it's perfect before I put it out, but that'll be up shortly. But order the
Because I
silver.
like the number 7, of course. That number
Yes,
is for
because
me.
you're going to get the 7, 2, 4, and 1 because those are your numbers. But
Yes.
I have to
Okay.
design a nice one for men because right now this looks very girly. So I would not suggest men get the charm bracelet. But the men can get the chain. So I sell it in silver and pure gold, 18 karat gold. And gold is hella expensive right now.
Huh. Tell me about it.
It's
Yeah.
like $3,400 for an ounce of gold right now. So if you can't afford the gold, I understand. I could do it in platinum and silver as well. And then I have my blog. So I have written articles that talk about cardology. So these are talking about like the semi-fixed cards. I talk about Angie Stone and break down her untimely death. I talk about the precious metals and why I got involved in the jewelry to begin with. Productive business planning. So if you are in a business and you want to make sure that you're doing things according to the business cycle, I have that there. Navigating work relationships. And so I write a lot of things in my blog that people can always go on and read. And this stays up. And so these articles are here. How to maximize your birthday number. There was a question in the chat about whether you're moving. You don't use your life path number. You use your birthday number
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the city. And also the 52-day cycle of the yearly spread, which is tied to the cycles that Lloyd was referring to. I call them the cosmic cycles. I don't give the Rosicrucians credit for that because they refer to it as the cosmic cycle, so they know it's not their information.
Yeah.
And then I talk about the fixed cards as well. So there's a wealth of information on my blogs that you all should be tapping into. So definitely come on. But then when you go to the shop, you can get all of the books here as well. Like I have so much going on this side. I have to break it apart. So I have my jewelry on one side and my numerology on the other. But
Oh,
you
this
can
is nice. I like this.
thank you. You can order the jewelry here, order the books here, hardcover, soft cover, numbers decoded, numbers spelled. I'll put these up on sale this week. The grand solar spreads. And if there are classes that you want to take that I've already offered, you can just pay for them and download them, and you have access to the full class. And so the site is very robust. If you wanted to book a session with me, you go down to services, come up here on services, and you can do a numerology consultation. You can do 15 minutes, 45, an hour. And then you can also study with me privately if that's what you want. But I think it'll be best if people join the Numerology Mastery Institute because you'll have a community of people that you can work with, and it'll be very fun and exciting to have that immediate feedback and have something to look forward to every week. But this is the site. So just jump on and you have access to a wealth.
Now you have a category of numerology. What's in that category? I don't think we touched
Oh,
it.
so numerology talks about the numbers, what you can find. And so
Ah,
identifying your life passion, looking at love relationships, work relationships, life lessons, business success. And it also talks about what these numbers do. So if we talk about the birthday number, the life cycles, the life path, the pinnacles. So it breaks these down so that you have an understanding of what these numbers do and how they function.
that is an amazing site. That
Thank you.
is.
And
Listen,
then you have the
mm,
testimonials. So if you want to go by what other people say, if you don't want to take my word for it, I have like about 60 testimonials here that talk about what I offer. So definitely tap in.
now in my experience, most people either want to know about love and finance or finance and love. What has been your experience?
Yeah,
And why is that, you think? As if those
because
are the only two areas of life that really counts.
I don't know. I don't really get those questions, and I'm not really into like the love readings. Like if it comes up, I'll talk about it. If it doesn't, I'm not focusing on it because we are focusing on love and we have to get ourselves right. Like when you come to me, you want to get yourself right first. So I'm really focusing on
You're
what
so
the,
selfish.
yeah, I'm like, all right, love thing is great, but everybody wants to love and not loving themselves. So
That's interesting. Well,
yeah,
true, true.
much, it's too much. So I focus more so on individual. And if the question comes up, they're like, you see anything for love? If I do, I will speak about it. If I don't, I do not. I'm not one who will sell you something just so that you can feel good. Like, oh, she told me I'm going to be in love. No, I want you to get the honest truth. And I'm giving you the message that spirit gives me to give you. I always ask spirit before every reading or consultation, rather, please give me the message that this person needs to hear right now in the moment to heal. So whatever it is that you need to heal in the moment, that's what I'm conveying.
Well, you have all psychic numbers anyway.
Yeah, 2, 7, and 6.
Yeah, all three, all working together. And this lady, Tranquil Moon, says, trust and believe you'll never be disappointed with any of Jazz books or courses. That I agree. That's why I got all three in my library. Okay. I've taken a couple of her courses and it's always superb and always professional. So I back Tranquil Moon up, not 100%, 1,000% in that area. I mean, you know, I used to have a thing, you don't play, but it's a God thing of saying that if you go in there, you got to be serious. You can't be half stepping when they come to your class.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? You got to, and she gives you what you get. Seriously, all I'm saying is you need to do that.
I give a lot. I have Saturn in the first house, right? So if people say I don't play, it's just I can't. Like I have Saturn in the first house. Like that's who I am. Like
And I don't mean it in a hard way too. It's just that if you're about serious learning, this is the person to go to. Now, if you're about something a little superficial, something like a little, distraction, she's not your person.
Mm-mm.
But if you want to go in depth where you walk away with at a level that is as close to as professional as you can get it, this is the person to go to. So
Thank
if
you.
it sounds like I'm plugging her, yes, you're right. Y'all figured that out. Good. Now, they said that girl from yonder, I'm a silver girly anyway, regardless of what the gold price is. Ironically, I'm from a former Gold Coast.
Oh,
Okay.
nice, nice. A lot of women prefer silver over gold. Yes, yes. It's just something about the skin, especially if you have the darker skin. The silver just looks nice against this.
Yes, yeah, it goes
The
against it.
pops, right? Yeah. But my silver is well done. Like I was down there today working on my jewelry. So I'm always tweaking and thinking and devising new things. So even if you don't see anything coming out, just know that things are in the works and they will come out. It just takes time. It takes money to be in a jewelry
Now
business.
she followed this up with another question. Wait, should I be staying away from Rosicrucian content?
No, you should
No.
not. You just don't have
Yeah.
to call it Rosicrucian content. The cycles are called cosmic cycles. When you
Yes.
purchase the book, that's how they refer to it, the cosmic cycles. They know that the information was given to them. So right now we're in Pluto in Aquarius, and every 224 years there's a changing of the guards, people who are in rulership. So at the time we were in rulership and we gave all of our information over to the Rosicrucians, Knights of Templars, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, like all of these different facets of the occultic knowledge were divvied up and received our information. And so right now we're calling it theirs, but it is truly our own information. That's why they don't call it anything but the cosmic cycle, because it comes from the cosmos. They cannot put their name, they cannot attach their names to this. So what are the cosmic cycles? When you're looking at the yearly spreads in cardology, every 52 days you're in a different energy. Same thing with numerology. Every 52 days you're in a different cycle, and there's certain things that you can and cannot do, or
Yep.
should and shouldn't do
Yeah.
during those times in order to really maximize the energies of those cycles.
In the Asian community, for example, they don't move into a house until there's a certain cycle.
Exactly.
So, you can sign it right now. They have the deed and everything, the keys, but they haven't wait. That everything is once you get outside of the West, people are more in line with what it is. Now, Joyce Monroe says, my favorite number lady, Jazz in the house. Thanks for your self.
Thank you, Joyce. That's my Trinity sister there. That's my Trinity Gilly.
Really?
Big up.
Okay, Key Love says she needs this book, right? So,
All up.
and Dee says, Jazz, enjoying this session very much. Met you around your area. You
Yes,
are a
Debbie.
great teacher, Debbie.
We met twice around my area. So, yes, it's good to see you online live with us tonight. Thank you.
Now, Numerologics.
That's my girl, Queen B. Queen's up.
Yeah. She says she needs both of your numerology books, and they are sold out on your site at the moment.
I'll open them up tonight so that folks can order them.
Okay, well, y'all gotta hurry because the books don't stay.
Yeah, it takes a while for them to make it to.
Does your mom still wrap the books?
No.
Okay.
You got the special love, like you were the last.
No, let me tell you,
all that special love and attention.
her mother, Cynthia, she don't let me call her mom. I got to call her Cynthia. Okay. And I say, all right. So I don't give her a hard way to go because she's a Leo too. Okay. So I mean, you just don't give Leos a hard way to go. And when I first bought her first book, and the one that's on numerology and cardology, her mother sat there and put such love and wrapping that book. I bought that book, and in fact,
you still have
when I didn't open it.
You didn't unwrap it.
Yeah. I bought another book right there. When you see, you gotta. Well, see, I appreciate knowledge and wisdom, but her mom sat there. So anybody who received their book in a wrapped package mailing, her mother did that. But the love she put into it, she was so meticulous. But she's sent the name Cynthia adds up to 20, which is your birth number. In the Chaldean system. And for me, I understood the whole detail, the whole love. And I mean, she could have just put it all together and just slapped a Band-Aid on it and all that stuff. But no, not her. And I mean, it was done with such love. I could tell that.
And it was smartly done because I was wrapping it a different way. And when I saw that she was wrapping where she was tucking it underneath, I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, and I said, okay, I'll buy another book.
That's right, Queen B. Don't be messing with us, Leo. She's a Leo. So be messing with them, Leo.
No, I mean, she put all kind of love in that book. That was the most amazing demonstration. Yeah, oh, that's right, because Numerologics is a Leo too. So that makes sense. She's born on the 20th day also. And if the girl from yonder says that's some TLC, that's exactly what your mother did. Put some tender love and care. And
great question. They have some great questions in the chat at the bottom.
Yeah, because this person here, the girl from yonder, I didn't know about that not moving into a house within that community and how that's considered a rule of thumb. There goes Boy dropping all those gems. But
the Chinese community, yes.
Yeah, because one of the things in our business, we deal with people from all walks of life. And with them, they all have their own culture. You know what I'm saying? And so I noticed in Chinese astrology, the one thing, it always starts in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, which is interesting. Yes. And it always starts in the new moon. So you can always tell just based upon those two rules when the new moon is going to be, when the change.
The Chinese New Year is going to come.
Yeah, what is I forgot what the sign is this year and for next year, but anyway.
I think we are in Tiger this year, not so? Let me see.
Tiger, I think so.
It just came out of Dragon.
Okay. Brandon says they're starting an 8 personal year in August. What to look out for? Well, we're going to cover that on a Monday because we're not getting really into readings.
Starting 8 personal year in August, what to look out for? Oh, okay. So if you're starting an 8 personal year in August, you need to look out for some harvest, some money coming. As far as if you've done the work, Brandon, because sometimes people look for that money and they haven't done the work. But that 8 that I agree. Get what you sow, you get the rewards for what the work you have completed. So 8s talk about money, but it also talks about people from the past coming back. So reunions and people you haven't seen in a while, usually around funerals or reunions in school or childbirths, if you have like a baby shower or stuff like that. 8s may also talk about you looking at property. A lot of people are looking to move and looking at property and homes and land. And so this is a year that you may focus on that as well. that this is a year of recognition. So definitely tap into that 8.
And so this person obviously believe they see that their year starts in August. Now
Mm-hmm.
the cusp of power number 3 says to you, April 20th, Ace of Diamond, heading into my personal year 7 in 2026, my enemy year under Chinese astrology. They're water rat. Should I stay
Mm.
home under the covers in 2026? I'll be booking an hour session. Now, you give your opinion. I'm gonna give my 2 cents.
I love that. Okay, so let's go. So with the Ace of Diamonds, that's the same card as mine. You have the same birthdays I do. And so you're heading into your 7th personal year next year. So right now you're in your 6. So 6 is all about building community and being outside and having fun and just meeting people and being musical, doing all of the artistic things and also focusing on your home. So change your home, feng shui your home. Think about the way that you want to redecorate to make your home comfortable because next year when you get into that 7, you will be in the home a lot. So you definitely want it to be a place that you enjoy being in. I don't think that you should be under the covers because 7 wants you to get in touch with your spirituality. So get out by water as much as you can, meditate as much as you can, do some sort of yoga or something that keeps the mind steady and stable in a 7 personal year. Again, take up a craft. I spoke about that earlier in terms of learning a new craft so that you're focusing that spiritual energy in something that will harness in a spiritual way. But also with this 7, get to the core of who you are. This is the year where you really have to decide what cusp of power wants to do. What is my destiny? What am I here to complete? Like, get to the truth of who you are. Because this 7 personal year is really going to bring you, you're going to be the main focus. So you're going to be looking at yourself in the mirror, like, what do I need to change? A lot of reflection and thinking about things next year. Lloyd, what do you say?
Okay, well, it's just she stay under the covers. No, no, that's not going to help. It's like burying your head in the sand. The way
Mm-hmm.
I try to explain to people, the sun don't come out every day. There are going to be some rainy days, overcast days, some thunderous days. So you know if it's about to rain, you don't go out there without the proper
Number
gear or umbrella, rain boots, rain jacket, or whatever the case is. And then she says, my enemy year under Chinese. I don't like that term
me.
because if your mind is thinking of an enemy, it
That's what
becomes
you're going to attract.
antagonistic. Like I would imagine you would agree with me, although we know we have numbers that are supposedly oppositional, none of the numbers bother me because I embrace them. I understand the principle of them and whatever the case is like that. So it's attitude. So if you go into attitude that it's your enemy year, I'd expect that's what you're going to get because you that's how your mindset is looking at it. So
Mm-hmm.
create a difference. It's a year to make you grow. Look at it instead of a year to grow, because normally these challenges make us grow.
Yes.
Okay, that's how I look at it. It's like getting knocked on the tush, and then you just get up. Some people don't, but you just get up.
That's right.
So rats, okay. So rats and monkeys get along very well. I do know that. Shall stay home under the
Lloyd, are you a rat as well?
who?
What's your Chinese zodiac?
I'm a monkey.
You're a monkey.
Yeah, I'm all
Okay.
over the place.
Because rat, monkey, and dragons all are in the same line, so we're all
Yeah,
compatible. I knew you
yeah.
were one of the 2.
What are you?
Dragon.
Get out of here. Those are the most beautiful women on the planet, you know.
Right.
You
Thank you.
didn't miss a beat. See, that's why I'm proud of you, Jackie. You're so funny. Any last departing words, dear? Let me see. Make sure that
Yes.
nobody made a
I
contribution.
wanted to bring up as well the podcast, if I can share my screen one more time.
Please do. Please do. Uh, you got it?
Oh, let me present. Oh, I have to present. That's right. All these buttons.
You funny, Jackie.
It's just so much to think about. Okay, here we go. All right. So, the Mental Cipher podcast is a podcast that one of my podcast co hosts, my podcast is called The Empress High Council. You can find that on my website. But if you go to YouTube and type in Mental Cipher podcast, this is a podcast for Black men focusing on Black men's mental health. And so
Mm.
there's a panel of men who speak about fatherhood, who speak about the misconceptions of Black men and the way that they handle their mental health, how Black men should be crying more often, should be in therapy, should have groups of support. And I had the pleasure and honor of being a guest speaker there as well for 2 episodes. It's really one, but it's split in two, and it's called Through Her Eyes. And we offer the female perspective on Black mental health. And so I want you all to check it out. The podcast is really dope. It's really great. It's nice to have these conversations with men, speaking to men in a very healthy and nurturing way. So check it out on YouTube.
I got a question for you concerning that too.
Yes.
You know, women say, well, we want men to show vulnerability and, you know, show their sensitivities. And yet if we men do that or we cry, then the next thing we out the door. So it seems contradiction of what women say want of us and what happens. Why is that as a woman perspective?
It's
I know
crazy.
this is the change of the subject. I hope it don't take too much time, but I was always curious about that. Yeah, we want you to show your sensitive side and so and so. And if the first tear that comes out my eye, I'm out.
Well, that's a very shallow woman. That's crazy, right? Because if you're in a real relationship, you're going to see your man cry. You're going to see him cry. But my thing is, we speak about
Interesting.
that often. That's the first thing that we opened up with in the conversation, the vulnerability and how it's okay for men to be vulnerable. A lot of times Black men don't want to be vulnerable because they don't want that used against them. And so they won't be vulnerable with other
Exactly.
men because they know that those men will take whatever they've shared with them. Not know, but they assume those men will take what they've shared with them and use it in a way that's disparaging. But that's not always the case. And my thing is, so what? People are going to talk about you regardless. Like, let's give them something to talk about.
True,
Right?
true, true.
And every time we get there and think that somebody's situation is worse than ours, that's just a way to deflect and get away from the problems that you have. And so it's okay to be vulnerable. Women should not be chastising men if they cry. And if you're with a woman who wants to be gone the first sight of a tear, then she's not the right woman for you. Because otherwise, how are you going to express your frustration? You're going to beat her? But you're going to put hands on her? That's the only way you're going to express it. If you're not
Yeah.
crying, you're going to be violent. So I'd rather you cry and get it out your system and we can talk about it. At least I know that you have a soft, a sensitive side. Men should be crying more often. So any woman who doesn't allow a man to cry is not a good woman. It's not.
You know what? Joyce just said that. She said that is a woman who is not in touch with herself.
Yeah.
Well put, Joyce. Men are human and have an emotional side too. We do.
You do.
We do.
It takes us a while to learn that, because especially with the breaking up and stuff. Oftentimes, this is me. Ace of Diamonds. I have that Five of Hearts. It's my Venus card. When I'm ready to be out, I am out. I have no discussion. I just bounce. Ghosts. I'm gone. And I've had to realize I have to stop that, because I'm dealing with another human being who has emotions, who's trying to process. Like, you just left and you had no conversation, nothing, like nothing to even say we have some closure, or to at least let me express my piece. And so I had to learn that too, that men want to communicate. They too want to grieve a relationship in the way that it ends. And so we have to stop treating men as if they don't have any emotions.
And Gwentella says the same thing. That is imbalance in that woman. In fact, when we do get together again, I'd like to talk about what you did on Mental Cipher. We just bring it to this platform.
That's
Let
great.
the men chime in.
I would love
Okay. And let us get the women's point of view of, because our attitude is what y'all say and what y'all do are two different things,
that.
which is why we kind of like be stoic and observe the patterns, because talk is cheap.
That's true. And it's one thing women need to know, is that men take their cues from us. They take their social cues from us. So they watch to see how we do things and they react based on how we put that energy out. So we always want to be mindful of the energy that we put out, because they are mimicking and mirroring what we do.
All right. These comments are so nice. Listen, I'm spilling a little over, but I gotta thank you. Hold up. Let me do this. First of all, let me
Put up the banner and stuff.
Yeah, I should have put the banner up there. Okay. And while we're doing that, let me just say this is her Numerology Institute. Let me take the banner down just 1 second so people can see it. Please sign up at the bottom of there. Just go to apply at jazaphrodite.com. She already showed you on her website. There's a questionnaire, and it's to see, really how serious you are, because, if you're taking any course that Jaz Afrodite teaches, you must be serious. You can't have it any other way. She doesn't have it any other way. but you come out on the top. You come out being the best of the best. So this is one of them. So please take advantage and see what she has to offer in that way. And again, this is her website. Please go to all of it. Apply for Numerology Mastery Institute and get your numerology jewelry at jazaphrodite.com. Her email is mail@jazaphrodite.com. Her IG or Instagram is jaz.aphrodite, Cash App, Venmo, Jaz Afrodite. Okay, please. And for those of you who may have kind of come in at the tail end, these are some of her books. This is her first classic book. Okay, hardcover and softcover I got. This is her second book.
Yes.
This is her third book. And this is her website where she says Master Teacher. You have bullets under your name going in and out underneath Jaz Afrodite is Master. Well, when I saw Master Teacher, I froze it on that one because
nice.
Exactly you. That's exactly you. You are a master teacher, whatever it is, whether it's cards, numbers, or anything else. You're a master teacher. So I'm going to always give you your props to your face, okay? That's the only way to do it.
Thank you so much.
So anyway, I want to thank you. Everybody, I want you to have a nice day. I'm going to mention all my sponsors, or you can stick around a second, Jazz, while I do this. So everything.
Read the forecast. Don't forget to read the forecast.
Oh, please do. Yes. Better late than never. Today is Wednesday, July 16th. The sun is in Cancer. The moon is in Aries. Thank you, Jazz.
You're welcome.
7 universal month, 1 universal week, 5 universal days. So all Geminis and Virgos are those born on the 5th, 14th, or 23rd. This is your day. And please like, share, and subscribe. And very important underneath like, share, and subscribe is I do not ask you for money. It is a shame that people ain't got nothing else better to do than to try to take something and misuse it and whatnot. So anyway, so please don't. I don't ask for money. I just don't. Not that I don't need the money. I just don't. Okay. Exactly. So this is sponsored by Melinda Valentine. That is her real name, Queen Bee. She is making this side of her nature known on Sunday, July the 20th at 7 p.m. It's going to be live. So subscribe and go to Numerologists on YouTube and make sure you do that. I do want to thank Vanessa and Corey Best for sponsoring. They're going to be on August the 4th, just before I go and visit them in the UK on the 23rd. Oh, and by the way, with Melinda Valentine, she does offer summer sales on her chart. So please go there. Uchenna's book will be ready soon. Please be patient. He is a very detailed guy, but everything he does turn out right. In fact, it's Uchenna that encouraged me to get on Udemy and encouraged me to develop the app. So and it's interesting. He's a Trini, Jackie's a Trini. What's up with the Trinis? Okay.
Just very productive. Very productive.
Very much so. Also, King Simon, my buddy, he is now into part 2 of his Patreon exclusivity on the anatomy of numerovation. So please make sure you enroll by going there and going to patreon.com/King Simon Productions. Also, Manifest on Purpose with Miss Kimberly. And she also, for those that want to start a business or go into business, but looking at it from an astro-numerical perspective, this is the place to go. Just click at the bottom and she will give you a complimentary review of your business or potential business. Okay. Also, Nicholas Brooklyn with Monique and Kafunya and King Simon. Hank Rising Sun. The regulars are always there, and I'm there on some Sundays. So probably in the next Sunday or so, I'll be joining them. But they're at 1396 Fulton Street in Brooklyn. I will say this: please pick up the newsletter. It is absolutely free. We don't sell your mailing list. I don't play that. And for those of you who want to watch the video portion of it, you can go there, because at each of the end of the signs, you'll see a link that will send you to this where you can see it. And on the 29th of this month, I'm going to be giving another palmistry course. The first one I gave earlier this year was really fantastic. So people have asked for it again. So if you want to join the class, just click on that QR code at the bottom left and just sign on. And I look forward to seeing you there. So everybody, I want to thank you, Jackie. This has been amazing. But the next time you're on, we're definitely going to talk about that mental cipher.
Okay.
So men, because you're very direct, and not in a bad way, but you're honest. You know what I'm saying? And to understand that why which is things we don't understand. And another thing, see, I got questions like, don't you know what I'm thinking about? Men don't know what we're thinking about. I'm a great numerologist, but I'm not a psychic. And so where do women get that from? See, I got a lot of questions for you. So it's gonna be a good session.
Talk about.
Yeah, good. So mental cipher is gonna come to Live with Lloyd. All right.
Love it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And love you much too, Jazz.
Love
and
you too.
Listen, I love all y'all too. Y'all have a great weekend. Please take good care of yourselves. Don't buy any wooden nickels, as they used to say. And I'll see you then. Bye.